The following is a production of Cary TV, the Town of Cary's government access channel.
Hi, welcome to Cary Matters, our monthly program that helps keep you informed of the issues that the Town of Cary is working on. I'm Jennifer Robinson, Council Representative from District A, and joining me today is Jack Smith, Council Representative from District C, who has been serving on the Council since 1989. And Jack is also our Mayor Pro Tem. Thank you, Jack, for joining us here today.
Jennifer, I'm happy to be here, and today is very important. We have some very serious information to share with our citizens. Today, we'll be talking about decisions that our state legislators have recently made that will have substantial impacts on Cary and the development standards that we have set. We're going to spend most of our time talking about changes that will be occurring, not because we want to make changes, but because state legislators are telling us and other communities that we have to make changes. We'll also talk about the legislators' decisions to withdraw revenues and funnel revenues from cities. Then we'll talk about our website's redesign and what the town is doing this year to collect falling leaves.
All right. Okay, first and foremost, let's talk about what has been happening down at the state legislature and how that is impacting us. Now, if you're from out of state, you may not be aware that North Carolina is what we call a Dillon's Rule state. That means that cities operate at the will of the state legislature. Unlike other states that have what we call home rule, in which cities are allowed to do anything it would like unless it is expressly forbidden by the state, cities in North Carolina are not allowed to do anything unless they are expressly given authority to do so by the state. This confuses a lot of people, but let's just liken it, the state, to having a system of mother may I.
Good analogy, Jennifer. Mother may I. Here in North Carolina, cities and towns are actually incorporated just like businesses, but only when the state says that we can be incorporated. We are corporate creatures of the state. The difficulty right now is that the legislature is withdrawing authorities that it has previously given cities. Let's go over a few of those authorities. For as long as I can remember, Cary's rezoning process has given citizens an opportunity to voice their concerns about a project through a protest petition process. For each case, our staff would show us a map that highlighted the properties from which we received protests. If a certain number of protests were received from landowners that were very close to the requested rezoning, we considered the protests to be valid. In this case, the rezoning would require a supermajority of votes by the council to be approved.
Okay, so for example, a rezoning without a valid protest would require 4 out of 7 council members to vote to approve it. But in a situation with a valid protest, 5 out of 7 council members had to vote for the project for it to be approved. Here in Cary, we thought that this approach gave nearby citizens appropriate influence on what would be built adjacent to their homes and businesses.
However, the state legislators no longer agree, and they've changed the law. In North Carolina Session Law 2015-160, which is entitled An Act to Amend the Process by which the City Council Receives Input in Zoning Ordinance Amendments, a mouthful, the state prohibited cities from requiring a supermajority vote to approve rezoning projects when a valid protest is filed. So we are now removing that provision from our land development ordinances based on this new law change.
Now, as many of you know, Cary is known for its quality development standards. Many people tell us that it's the beauty of this community that was a factor in attracting them to our town. Many of our standards that we have in place today are a result of concerns or requests by citizens. In fact, many, if not most, of our aesthetic ordinances and environmental ordinances can be traced back to requests by citizens. Unfortunately, the majority of those in the state legislature have decided that this is no longer the right course for local governments and have removed cities' authorities to set laws that govern aesthetics and protect the environment, at least to the level that Cary citizens have wanted and valued to this date.
And two of Cary's aesthetic controls that will be removed include our anti-monotony standards and our garage-scape standards. Now, both of these came as citizens reacted to development practices that they believed were substandard, and the council agreed. When we heard from citizens that they had to count driveways to know which house was theirs, or accounts of people entering another person's house by mistake, we knew that this was not the type of development that we wanted in Cary. So we put in place standards that required a builder to use a variety of facades when building many houses on a street.
We also heard complaints from citizens about garages being built in front of houses, such that the garage blocked the view of the house. Many cities across the country have standards that dictate the location and characteristics of garages. In Cary, our standard prevented a garage from making up more than 50% of the facade of a house. However, this standard will also be removed from our land development ordinances.
Losing local authority over aesthetics really disappointed me, but not really nearly as much as when the state took away a lot of our ability to protect the environment. You know, folks, we've spent years honing our land development standards to address the impacts that development was having on the environment. For the first decade that I served as a council member, I was constantly fielding calls from citizens who were having runoff from nearby development wash into their yards. Or worse, their homes were flooding because they were built too close to a creek or wetland.
You know, based on a lot of feedback from our citizens, the council enacted a set of standards that have been recognized nationally. First, we have we've set a standard of having a 100-foot stream buffer around perennial and intermittent streams. While the state requires 25 feet on either side of a creek or stream, we require 50 feet. This extra distance pooled houses further from water so that flooding in new neighborhoods is practically non-existent. In addition, having people's private yards outside of the stream buffers results in less tree clearing along the creeks and streams. And this means that water filters slower into our creeks, keeping them cleaner and less likely to experience erosion.
The other standard that we have that really works is our stormwater retention standards. The state only requires that a developer retain stormwater that occurs for a one-year event. Now, this is kind of confusing, but the amount of rainfall is characterized by terms such as 1 year, 2 year, 5 year, and so on, up to a 100-year event. In reality, a one-year storm simply isn't that much. So when a heavy rainfall occurs, muddy stormwater flows from construction sites into neighboring properties and into creeks. Even after construction, the removal of trees and addition of impervious area increases stormwater runoff. This is a problem because it seems like we get a 100-year event every spring and fall these days.
And because the state standards were not protecting our citizens' properties or our waterways enough, the council requires all developments to analyze a 2, 5, and 10-year events to retain stormwater on site. Since we enacted these standards, the presence of muddy runoff into streams and flooding in adjacent neighborhoods has been substantially reduced. But our state legislators have removed cities' authority to have buffer and stormwater runoff rules that are stricter than the state's rules.
In the coming months, we'll be working on our approach to protecting the environment in light of this Session Law 2015-246. In addition to this withdrawal of authorities, last year, the state withdrew the authority for cities to collect privilege license fees and this year removed our authority to charge taxes to builders on inventory that has yet to be sold.
Okay, well, these lost revenues will need to be made up if the town is going to maintain our current levels of service. And a likely way to make up these is increasing property taxes paid by citizens. In addition, you'll have a new tax levied on services such as automobile repair and beauty services. However, the state legislators created the tax with the intent to redistribute the wealth by sending all of the revenue generated to the more rural and suburban parts of our state. Now, I don't know about Jack, but I plan on sending a text message to my friends down east every time I leave a hair salon. I'm going to say, I got my hair cut, you're welcome for my contribution to your community. Okay, we're going to take a brief break and a deep cleansing breath. And when we come back, we're going to talk about our website redesign and our loose leaf collection program.
The Town of Cary invites you to kick off the season with a full day of holiday cheer in downtown Cary. On Saturday, December 5th, the Heart of the Holiday celebration features a host of activities that include Santa and the Town of Cary's Christmas tree lighting celebration. Looking for fun gift ideas? Try Cary Theater movie passes, a Skate Cary membership, fitness passes, or even a Parks and Recreation gift card. Bring the whole family. It's the Heart of the Holidays in Cary. For more information, visit townofcary.org.
Hi, thanks for staying with us during that break. Okay, Jack, let's talk about our website. Almost exactly 1 year ago, we announced that we were working on updating our website, and we started a 2-year process that includes an unprecedented effort to get user involvement. I think we've done 2 or 3 surveys so far, right?
That's right. In September, we asked our citizens to provide input on our current website, and we were thrilled with the response. More than 300 surveys were submitted. And this month, we're back asking for more input, this time on the design direction of the new website. Our website vendor is hosting a 3-minute survey featuring several examples of their design work. All you need to do is view each example and answer a few quick questions. We'll compile the results and use them to steer the look and feel of the new site. The survey will be open through November 30th, 2015. And for more information, simply search Website Overhaul at www.townofcary.org.
Okay. We are very thankful for everyone who takes the time to help us out with our site. Now, on a different note, we want to let everyone know that this month marks the start of our annual Loose Leaf Collection Program. Our trucks will sweep through your neighborhood streets 3 times between November 9th and January 26th to collect loose leaves properly placed at the curb.
I know, Jennifer, I'm still going to miss summer, but the town directly mailed the loose leaf collection map and schedule to you in October to help you successfully and easily participate in this town service. You can also view the map and schedule online by searching Loose Leaf Collection at townofcary.org. Now, according to the map, your household will be in area 1, 2, 3, or 4. Please follow the collection periods for your area.
Okay, now here are some very important points. Be sure to have your leaves along the curb on the first day of your area's collection period. Now that's because our crews will come by your street once during the period, and it could be at the start or the end of that time frame. So as the name suggests, leaves should be loose. That's the second point. In other words, in a pile along the curb. Now, if you choose to put your leaves in reusable containers or brown paper bags, you can set those out for pickup as part of your weekly yard waste collection.
Help keep our streets and crews safe during collection. Keep leaves along the curb and out of the roadway. Avoid placing leaves on sidewalks, meter boxes, sewer cleanouts, and storm drains. Place leaves away from fire hydrants and mailboxes. Park vehicles a safe distance from your leaves so they are accessible for pickup. And most importantly, children should not play in these piles since they are beside the road. But as a precaution, avoid driving through piles of leaves just in case a child is playing in them.
Okay, now while the town provides 3 free scheduled sweeps of your leaves, you can always schedule an extra collection by calling 919-469-4090. Now please note that an extra collection during our program is subject to a $100 fee per household. Our town is committed to providing exceptional services and hope that you find our loose leaf program to be easy and convenient to help you manage your fall yard waste. This program supports our commitment to conservation and waste diversion. All of the yard waste that the town collects is turned into compost. If you'd like more information about that, please call our Public Works Department customer service at 919-469-4090. Okay, after this break, we'll talk about the events and meetings during the month of November, so please stick around.
We're staying healthy.
We're making new friends.
We're learning new things.
And having lots of fun.
Join us at the Cary Senior Center, where we are creating active retirement years.
Okay, we are back. In this final segment of Cary Matters, we want to talk about what's happening in November and how you can be involved. Jack, we have a lot going on. Start us off. Tell us about it.
Thank you, Jennifer. Well, as a veteran, one of the most important days in November is Veterans Day. And I want to invite all of you to join me at Veterans Freedom Park on November 11th at 11 a.m. for a remembrance ceremony. In addition, I recommend we all get busy cleaning out our home offices because the town is hosting a paper shred on November 14th at 400 James Jackson Avenue. Each citizen may bring up to 3 boxes of confidential papers for free on-site destruction and recycling. But bring your ID because proof of Cary residency is required. And remember, this is a residential collection event. So please, no boxes from businesses.
Okay, November 14th is a busy day. Also on that day, citizens can go to the Cary Theater to see the North Carolina Songwriters Festival. The show will include fabulous North Carolinian musicians playing their original songs. Later in the month, starting on November 28th and for the next 5 weeks, the Cocoa Booth Amphitheater will host the first ever North Carolina Chinese Lantern Festival. The festival will include more than 20 displays, each one comprised of hundreds of parts and thousands of LED lights. Additionally, there will be multiple weekend performances by Chinese artisans.
We'll also be at work here at the council chambers throughout the month. Council meetings will be held on Thursday, November 5th and 19th, and we have a work session on November 17th. Well, that's it for this edition of Cary Matters. We appreciate your watching and hope that what we've shared has been of interest. Please let us hear from you. Your time is important, and we want this show to be of value to you as we work to bring you, our citizens, closer to your government.
And remember, help keep Cary litter-free, clean, green, and beautiful by volunteering with our Spruce program. Thanks for watching, and as always, thanks for choosing to call Cary home.
This has been a production of Cary TV. Visit the Town of Cary's website at townofcary.org.